Fraud that my client is charged with, the amount of the fraud is $689,970.24.
Alhamdulillah.
I met up with a woman, and that woman, she was Muslim, and her mom, she told me that I should look up into Islam, and it's then that I started doing my own research. So I was reading like books, and I read the Quran, and I was really surprised to find that in the Quran that they had like the same prophet that there was in the Bible. Even at a point that I didn't understood how Muslim will understand the Quran, because in the Bible they have like the beginning of the story, and the Quran just completed it. So and I started to do my own research, like even like a lot. I was researching, and the only problem that I end up having is like that, because as a Christian you have to believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and if you don't believe this, you go to hell, and if you believe it, you go to paradise. And I didn't want it to go to hell for nothing. Like it had to be the true religion, so I had to really make some research. And alhamdulillah, I found that Islam was the truth, and I made my shahada. So right after I took my shahada, 3 days after, my mom called me and told me that the police was looking for me. So I went to see my lawyers, and they told me that I should give myself tin. So I went and I gave myself tin, but for the first time, it was the first time I went into jail as a Muslim.
I'm here with my client Isaac, or known as Isaac Mushtakim, who is charged in Montreal with various offenses, particularly fraud, forgery, the use of forged documents. With regards to the fraud that my client is charged with, the amount of the fraud is $689,970.24. This would occurred in the year of 2006 over a 3-month period between the months of May and September. But there's a different side to Isaac that we know and that we've come across. Since his arrest, since these events, Isaac has completely turned his life around. I mean, notwithstanding this criminal record, I mean, breaking and entering, conspiracy to commit a criminal act, robbery, assault, mischief, intentional impersonation, I mean, the list goes on and on. Notwithstanding all of this, this individual has completely changed himself. He is no longer the person that he was when he was younger. He's married. He had a tough life. I mean, he grew up on the street. He grew up a life of crime and violence. That's no longer the person he is. He's married. He's a contributing member of society. He has a stable job. We have letters of recommendation from his employers. He's found religion. He's converted to Islam, and he's very observant of that. He commits himself to do charity work on a purely volunteer basis. No one has asked him to do this, and these are all signs of someone that has seen the process, seen that crime is not a life that he has chosen, and he has clearly indicated that he wants to be a contributing member of society, and that
what advice have you got to Muslims and non-Muslims regarding Islam?
But because more that because before I never knew like Muslim people. If there was Muslim people around me, I didn't know because they never talked to me about Islam. I really think that there was no Muslim around me. But now that I'm a Muslim and I'm just like hanging out with Muslim and seeing Muslim, there's a thing that really like get me sad, you know? It's because me before I used to like a lot of I used to like a lot the tattoos, and on my head a tattoo get money. But more that I see little kids, like young kids, young Muslim, I realize that they have the same tattoo that I have, but not on their head. They have it on their heart, and they want to compromise their Islam for money, for like seriously stupidity. Like I don't, and that get me like really sad that they don't know the value of what they really have, because Islam gives me an happiness that everything that I had in my life, like all the money, the girls, because with a lot of money comes the girls, the money, the girls, the house, the condo, like all that life never give me a happiness that I have today, a happiness that lasts. And for the non-Muslim, seriously, before, like I didn't know nothing. For real, me before, I will never thought I will be a Muslim. Never. Never. So seriously, like what they're showing like in the media, because we all think like, we think like Muslim is like crazy people with beard that want to blow themselves up. Like I don't understand. Like what you see in the media is not the real thing. Really, if you want to learn something, you open the book and you read. And before I used to not read, never read. But seriously, when you read about Islam, it's the best thing that you can learn. And even if you're not interested about changing your religion or getting a religion, at least just read it for like education. Just read it so you know what they're talking about. Why so much people are turning into Islam? Why? You have to question yourself, like, because everybody has a brain. Maybe you believe there's a God or not. I believe there's a God, and a God like gives us a brain, and the brain is to think. So I just ask you to think by yourself. Don't think like don't just follow what the media gives you. Like think by yourself and read. Like read the Quran. There's translation of the Quran in French, in English, in all the language. So just read, try to really learn about Islam, and don't look what the Muslims are doing, because that's a lot of people say like, but I know a Muslim. A lot of Muslim, we're human beings and we all do mistakes, and there's a lot of Muslims that like there's only one Muslim, and that was a prophet that really like can live what the religion, the prophet ﷺ, like that really like lived what the religion was teaching. But all the Muslims, most of the Muslims, even me, I'm not a perfect Muslim. We all try to be good. We all try, but you can't learn the religion by looking at me or hearing what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying go read the Quran and learn about Islam from its source. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.